Hello everyone. Welcome to Simply Jira. I am Vijaya. I have 6+ years of experience working with Jira. I'm here to share what I know about Jira to those who haven't heard of it yet. I'm open for any suggestions that could help me improve throughout this journey. In our last video, we have seen an overview of subscription and exporting of issues. Today, I will help you get a basic understanding of JQL syntax and bulk operation. Let's get started. In our last video, I missed to share the screen of how a subscription email looks. This is how a subscription email looks. When there are no issues, depending on our selection, whether we would like to receive an email or not, we may either receive an email, or if we have selected to receive an email even without a matching issue, then we would get an empty email. Let's go to today's topic. As we already know, there are two modes of JQL search, basic and advanced. That is also called as JQL mode. Today, I will help you understand some of the basic JQL syntax. A JQL syntax is a combination of field names, operators, and the criteria we enter for searching. We can also call it as a value. So in short, we will have both fields and operators on a JQL search syntax. Let's go for a simple search. Let's say project equal to test. This is a simple search which would list all the issues in the project test. As you can see, we usually use this operator equals to or this operator tilde operator or in most of the times. When do we use equal to? When the value is something fixed or static. For example, if we are trying to search based on a select list or drop down field or a checkbox field, then we would use equal to. If you are going to search based on a text field, say summary, then it would not be something static, right? We are just going to look for a match of a word or match of a pattern. In that case, we will be using the tilde operator. Let's say summary matching test. Let's open an issue to see if we have any select list field. Based on that, let's try to search using different operators. So we have a field here called stages. So these are static or fixed option list we already have assigned for this field, right? So in this case, we will be using equal to operator. Let's say stages equal to beginner. In this case, you can also see once you start typing the value, you can see the suggestion here. That would not be the case when you're trying to do a text search. Let's open another issue and assign a different value for the stages field. So this would list issues with either of these values. And one more thing to be noted, in case if we are doing a search for a single word, then we may or may not enclose it with quotes. If you're doing a search for an option or a word with space, then we should definitely enclose it with double quotes. Let's say we are trying to match summary, test, new. In this case, if we are not enclosing this with quotes, then we would get a syntax error. Another thing with the text search is, usually when you're just enclosing a sentence or a group of words with quotes, it will try to find issues which match one of the words which you have mentioned inside the quotes. If you would like to get the exact pattern match, then we need to escape the quotes. For example, here we have two issues, test new development story and test development. So if we match for the word development, test development, we will get both these issues. But if we want an exact pattern match for test development of a web page, then we may need to enclose this in quotes and escape the other quotes. Now it would list only the issue which has this exact title match. So there are other type of fields, right? Let's say user picker fields. Let's say reporter. In this case, we usually use equal to, and in cloud, we will, once we start typing, we will get a suggestion here we can add, or we can also use email address. In this case, I have only reported all the issues, so it is just fetching everything. Same applies for assignee or any other multi-user picker field as well. So there is another keyword called empty. Is empty or is not empty. For example, here we could see assignee value is filled for some of these issues. For rest of the issues, we could see it is unassigned, right? In this case, we could try using assignee is empty. Yeah, now it would list all the issues without a value for the assignee field. The same could apply for stages as well. So we have seen a drop-down field called stages, right? So now we are seeing all the issues with no value for the stages field. In case if you would like to get issues which have a value for the stages field, then we need to negate this with a not. Now we can see these two issues where we have value for the stages field. So these are some of the basic JQL syntax. If you would like to explore more, you can go through this link. Here you have more details of how JQL search can be performed. And there are also advanced JQL search syntaxes with respect to date fields or date time fields. You can also explore this. Maybe in our upcoming videos, we can dive more into this. Let's go to the next topic, bulk operations. For example, let's say we have a use case where we would like to auto close a set of duplicate tickets. Maybe we have got some automated tickets triggered due to some outage which we would like to close once the outage is resolved. In this case, instead of manually closing each and every ticket, we can bulk close all these issues. There are different bulk operations. Let me show you some of them. So whenever you are in the search view or when you have a filter search open, you can click on these three dots and bulk change work items. To perform a bulk operation, you need a global permission called bulk change permission. Only then this will be enabled for you. Let's say I would like to perform a bulk operation for all these four issues. I can select whichever I want. If I don't want a specific issue to be part of this bulk operation, I can deselect it. This involves multiple stages. In the first stage, we will be choosing which bulk operation we would like to perform. Let's say if we want to add a value for stages field for all these four issues as beginner, the same value, then we can go for edit issues bulk operation. If we would like to move all these four issues from one Jira project to another, then we would go for move issues. If we would like to auto close all these issues, then we would go for transition, which would change the status of the issues. Even when you want to close the issue, sometimes we would like to add a comment for audit reference, right? Why we are bulk closing these issues. In that case, we can first perform the edit issues bulk operation and add a comment mentioning why this is being auto closed, and then we can perform a bulk transition to change the status of the issues. Let's do that. These are test issues, hence being closed by bulk operation. We can also select whether we would like to notify the relevant participants in the ticket or not. Whoever watches it, the reporter or assignee, whether they should be notified of this change or not. In most of the cases, we will deselect this because we don't want people to be flooded with notifications. Only when there is a specific need that they are supposed to be notified, then we can have this checked. In this case, we are just doing it for only four issues, so it just happened within few seconds. In an ideal case, when we are doing it for multiple issues, hundreds of thousands of issues, when we are trying to move thousands of issues from one project to another, then it would take a longer time depending on the load. And also there is usually a limit we can perform a bulk operation. Usually it will be restricted to 1,000 issues, so that we won't be performing a bulk operation on a huge number of issues, causing a huge load on the system. Let's open one of these issues. Yeah, we could see the comment added here. Let's go back and then perform a bulk closure of these issues. Let's say we would like to auto close all these issues. We have just added a comment. We are going to auto close these issues now. Now you can see the status of all these issues have been changed to done with a single bulk operation. There can be scenarios when we are moving an issue from one project to another. We may need to pay attention to minute details like the project configurations might differ. So while we are moving issues, performing a bulk operation, we may need to check which fields are being removed as part of the movement. Those type of bulk operation need some familiarity and experience. We can dive into those topics in detail in the upcoming videos. With this video, I believe you have a basic understanding of what is a JQL syntax and what are the possible operators and ways we can use it for JQL mode search, and what is a bulk operation, how it can be used for several use cases. Thank you everyone for watching. Let's meet in our next video.